Good morning and welcome to our November AT Talk, everyone. Today's topic is emergency preparedness. Our speaker this morning is Douglas Tibbs. Mr. Tibbs is a retired special education teacher and the owner of You Too Can Learn. He studied special education and therapeutic recreation and continues to present nationally and locally, focusing on assistive technology, home modifications, education, emergency preparedness, and adaptive sports. He also designs low-tech items that are used for communication and holds a copyright on specialty paper for writing and math. Please welcome Doug Tibbs. They're all yours.
Hey, hello. Today I am presenting on emergency preparedness. You can change the next slide, please. Okay. Oh, I gotta move this a little bit. I can't see. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. Okay. When things fail, why prepare? Okay. Where will you and your family be, or friends and personal care attendants be when emergency or disaster strikes? You and those you care about could be anywhere: home, work, school, or in transit. How will you find each other? Will you know if your loved ones are safe? Emergencies and disasters can strike quickly and without warning, and can force you to evacuate your neighborhood or confine you to your home. What would you do if a basic services like water, gas, electricity, telephones were cut off? Local officials and relief workers will be unseen after a disaster, but they cannot reach you right away. We saw this happen this year here in Detroit with the heavy rains, the floods and whatnot. And this is something that hadn't really happened here a lot, but it's happening more because of global warming. Okay, we change the slide, please. The life you save may be your own or that of a loved one. You are in the best position to plan for your own safety, as you are best to know your functional abilities and possible needs during and after an emergency or a disaster situation. You can cope with disasters by preparing in advance with your family, care attendants, or friends. You will need to create a personal support network and complete a personal assessment. What you need to do is know what you need, how much you need, and just to prepare to have it in reserves so that if something happens, you have it. Can you change slide, please? Okay, FEMA. FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. It supports the idea that being prepared leads to disaster resilience. If you are able to cope with a disaster, you have a better chance of surviving it. A lot of times people don't think, oh, it's not going to happen. You see like hurricanes or you see tornadoes, oh, that happens someplace else, but it could happen to you. Like I said, disasters and emergencies can happen anywhere. Change the slide, please. Okay, we have some of the disasters are floods. Change the slide. Tornadoes. Change. Blizzards. Fires. Hurricanes. Landslides. Earthquakes. Chemical spills. Active shooters, civil unrest, terrorism. Okay, you need to be a prepper. Okay, there used to be a television show that came on, I think it's National Geographic, about preppers, and it would show different people who were prepared for emergencies. So some had bunkers and different houses and had stockpile weapons and food and medical equipment. But you don't really have to do all of that unless you want to. Change the slide, please. So what is a prepper? Change the slide. A prepper is an individual or a survivalist to be self-reliant or without substantial assistance from the outside resources, government, police, etc. Now, on the internet, there's a acronym that says SHTF, and you can see what it says. I'm not going to read that, but it's when everything goes wrong that can go wrong, and you have to depend on yourself. Would you hit the slide, please? In order to prepare, these are some of the things you have to do. You have to be aware of community hazards. If you live near a chemical facility, you should be aware that there could be a possible chemical spill or fumes getting out or anything like that. Like especially people who live like maybe downriver near the Marathon plant. You know, recently we've seen people in the news. You know, people were suffering from burning eyes or choking or different types of ailments because of different fumes that are coming from it. And I think at the Ford plant in I think it was downriver somewhere where the benzoate got into the water system. It was polluting people's water. You also should be aware of your community disaster plans. Most communities have a disaster plan for people to react to different situations. You can contact your local Red Cross, or you can contact your police department or fire department. Community warning systems. At least once a week on your television, you'll have a warning in case there was some type of emergency disaster. Also, every Saturday, the first Saturday of every month, you hear a siren goes off at 1 o'clock. That was just a test for letting you know that the emergency is going on, not going on, but it's just a test. Also, assistance programs. There are just different type of assistance programs, especially people who have disabilities, that will lend you or help you obtain new equipment. If you, well, not new equipment, but equipment if you such as wheelchairs, walkers, maybe oxygen tanks or things like that. Change the slide, please. You have to make a plan. When you have an emergency, you have to, before emergency actually happens, you need to make a plan. So what you need to do is first meet with your family, personal care people, attendants, and building managers. If you live in an apartment building, there are, you need to have, be aware of what the emergency protocols are. A lot of buildings, when the building shuts down, if you're on the third floor and you're in a wheelchair, how can you get down? The elevators may be shut down. So there should be some type of protocol for you to be able to get out of the building. You need to also next choose an out-of-town contact. Not necessarily totally out of town, but somebody who lives someplace other than where you live. It's to so they can so you can contact them, or so your family or your friends can know what's going on with you. Decide where to meet. If you're at home and a disaster occurs, say a blizzard or a tornado and hits the town, you need to be able to hook up with your friends and family to find out, well, actually your family. Also complete a communication, excuse me, a communication plan. With that, what you need to do is have a calling list where you can call people and people can call you, so you can hook up with each other to find out what's going on. An escape plan. You need to have some place to go when you if you have a fire in your home. You should have some place where everybody has to meet, or if a flood. Okay, change the slide, please. Okay, these are different slides and different things. The escape route, there should be at least 2 different ways to exit your house if an emergency occurs. If the house is flooded, if the house catches on fire, you should have some place where you and your family, especially the kids, where you meet. Also, the picture at the top of the slide, emergency exit doors. You should know where all the exit doors are in the building. If you're in the building, you should be aware of where the exit doors are and how to get out of them. If you have a single, a 2-story house, such as the one there, you can have a fire escape, or you can have emergency ladders in your house. Next slide, please. Your basic disaster supply kit. You should have on hand at your house a 3-day supply of non-perishable food and a manual can opener. You have to have a manual can opener because if you have canned foods and electricity goes out and you have an electric can opener, you can't open it up. You have to have a 3-day supply of water, 1 gallon of water per person per day. This is what the FEMA recommends. A 3-day supply of food and water for your pets. If you have a service animal or you have pets, you need to make sure you keep them in mind also. Portable battery powered radio or television extra batteries. You should always have extra batteries because, like I say, if you put the batteries in something and you put it in a drawer someplace and you can't find it, or by the time you use it, the batteries may have corroded or they may have weakened. Like I said, okay, next thing, first aid kit and manual. You should have some type of first aid kit and some type of manual. If you're not familiar with first aid, or then you should have something just in case, a manual to tell you how to treat different injuries or ailments. Sanitation and hygiene items: hand sanitizer, moist towelettes, toilet paper, and plastic garbage bags. If for some reason the water stops running or there's no water, you have to have some place to use the bathroom. So you can use like a big 5-gallon bucket and line it with the plastic bag is used as a makeshift toilet if necessary. You need matches in a waterproof container and a cigarette lighter. Like I said, if you don't have power, if you have electric cooking stove tops, then you can't cook if you have no electricity, or if the gas is cut off. Also, a whistle. A lot of times in the disasters, if say you're in a tornado and your house gets blown down and it's a bunch of rubble, they won't be, if you're trapped underneath the rubble with a whistle, that can be help. That you can use that to help the rescuers locate you. Change the slide, please. Extra clothing, blankets. You should have extra clothing and blankets on hand just in case if you're in a blizzard, or if you get somewhere, if you're stuck and you can't go, you can't get anywhere and the temperature drops, you need clothes and blanket, or if you get wet. Kitchen accessories, manual and cooking, kitchen accessories, manual and cooking utensils, different cooking utensils. You need some place to cook your food, to prepare your food. Photocopies of identifications and credit cards, cash and coins. ATMs don't work without electricity. So if you're stuck somewhere, uh, and all the power goes out and you need money to buy food or whatever, you can't do that because the ATMs don't work. And like charge machines in different places won't work. Also special needs items such as prescription medication, eyeglasses, contact lens solution, hearing aids, and batteries. Items for infants, such as formula, diapers, bottles, and pacifiers. You need also to have some type of tools, a map of the local area, and other items to meet your unique family needs. Cell phone chargers and portable power supplies. Change the slide, please. Okay, consideration for AT preppers. These are people who with special needs, just a little bit. This list pertains to those people more so. Have a list of all AT equipment used at your home, work, and school. During, like I said, during an emergency, things could get destroyed, get wet, especially like electric wheelchairs, not speech machines, but telephones, speech things for people who have speech impairments, those type of machines. Register your equipment and maintain a record of devices and related peripherals, model and serial number. If you have a certain type of machine that you depend on, you need to have the serial numbers and different types of cords and adapters for it. Tag your devices and with identifying information. You need to tag your equipment so that if people find it, they can return it to you. Take photos. Have photos of your different machines. So, like for example, if you're in a tornado and FEMA comes and your house has been destroyed, you have they can have an idea of what's yours. Have key operating instructions available. Keep them in the plastic bags. If you have a machine, you should have the machine. You should have the operating instructions with the machines because you may not be able to communicate to people how to use the machine, especially the rescuers. Keep current evaluation reports and prescriptions off-site with key health related information. You should have information about yourself. If you're someone who has difficulty communicating and you can't talk and rescuers get to you, they can't necessarily understand what they're supposed to do for you. Obtain a backup device through local reuse programs and keep it stored in a location other than the primary residence. That's the idea, to have like maybe if you're in a wheelchair, you have a power wheelchair or a power scooter. You may need to have a manual wheelchair somewhere that you can use in case of an emergency. Identify things that are vital. Make sure you have everything that's vital for you, for your survival or for your everyday use items. Make all your vital items easy to access as possible. Don't put things way back in the closet where you can't find them. Put them somewhere that they're easily accessible. Change the slide, please. Okay, this is a 3 day supply of water, 1 gallon of water per day per person. This is my supply of water that I have. Okay, change the slide, please. 3-day supply of food, non-perishable items, and a manual can opener. Again, this is not my house, but that's somebody's house. But you should have enough non-perishable foods to last you for 3 days, depending on how big his family is. Like I said, again, for your pets as well. Change the slide, please. Okay, power supply. Keep a supply of fresh batteries and portable devices. These things that's on the slide, I have them right here, but this is the pictures of them. The first thing you see in the front is it's called it's by Gold Zero. It's a portable like power supply. It will supply a computer, a laptop computer, speech device. Um, it was your cell phones, that type of thing. The thing that's sticking up in the back is a solar a solar panel that connects with with the with the power device. It will connect with it, and what it will do is if there's no electricity, you can use the sun to charge it. Also, you can use those solar panels to charge your phones or your computers. It takes a lot longer, a lot of times, than it does with the electricity, but it does work. I've used them. Uh, the thing that you see with the blue around it, that's a portable solar panel that I use with my phone to charge my phone. I carry it in my car all the time. Also, just little lights that I have. You change the slide, please. Also, if you have a home, if you live in a home, it's nice to have a backup generator. Uh, During the last bad storm, a large area in my community, about 10 blocks, they had no power for like a whole week. So what are you going to do with how are you going to keep your food or power your devices in your house? You can't. So if you have a generator, you can at least power some of them. Now they have the generators that they build in that are bigger and more powerful, and they can supply energy to your whole house. They're usually run by gas. Now, portable generators are good, but you can't run them in the house because they do run on gas, and you have to be careful not to have carbon monoxide poisoning from them. And uh, also, like I said, I have a generator at the house, uh, and I have never had to use it yet, but I do have one. Okay, change the slide, please. Now these are the different lights. These lights are well, three of them are solar panel. They have solar panels on them, and I keep them in a window where the sun shines all the time, so they're always charged. Also, a couple of them they have cranks. If the batteries run down or you don't have any sunlight, there's a hand crank on it that you can crank to generate electricity for them. And like I said, also one of the lights that you see laying down, it has you can charge it with a UCP. Uh, Not UC. I mean, it's, yeah. You can plug it into the computer. I'm sorry. Change USB. I'm sorry, USB. I'm saying use. Now a bug out bag. A bug out bag is a thing with a bag that you carry in your car. You keep it in your car. It has emergency supplies in it. You can purchase a bug out bag from the American Red Cross. They sell different varieties, different sizes, depending on how big you want the bag. But you should also always have an emergency bag or supplies in your car, because you never know if you get stranded because of floods, because of blizzards, because of you know, any kind of thing, a terrorist attack, active shooter, you may be stuck somewhere. All right, you know, change the slide, please. Now this is a photograph of the things that I took out of my bug out bag. I have gloves, I have extra jackets, hats, I have a blanket, I have first aid kits, I have water purification devices. I have a small cooking pot that runs off of just twigs. You put twigs in it, and you can uh, light twigs in it, and it'll boil water for you. I have some freeze dried food in there, just in case. I have flashlight, have a knife. I have some other tools in there in the bag as well. Change the slide, please. This is a survival shovel that I keep in my car. This you don't have to have a shovel like this, but this one I just happened to see, and I liked it. It has different devices that go with it. It's a shovel. It could be used as an axe. It can have it has a saw blade that attaches to it. It has a fire starter that you can help start fires. Um, is very useful, especially like if you get, like I said, you're stuck in the snow. Or stuck in the mud. You need to dig yourself out. Change the slide, please. All right, this is where I got a lot of my information from FEMA, the website, inclusive preparedness, disability 9/11. Pass It Along Center. That is a center that has used equipment for people with disabilities that you can borrow, and then once you get your equipment back, you return it back to them. And prepare.org. I also got information from a book called Surviving Any Disaster. That is a very good book. The person who taught the class is very knowledgeable about emergency responses. This is the book. It was very. I got it from the Great Courses, and it was a very informative book. Also, from the American Red Cross, you can also get copies of this book, which is a pamphlet, which is Preparedness. Okay, is there any questions?
No questions yet.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Tibbs? Okay, I don't see anything.
Okay. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tibbs. I learned a lot. Seeing that shovel reminded me of a time my dad was in the military and had a shovel very similar to that, except not as fancy. And I got stuck on my own out in the middle of nowhere once and dug my way out. It took me 2 days. So it can make a huge difference to have those items. And for those of you who are trying to think about what you might want, if you need assistive technology, we have some programs to help you have a plan for obtaining assistive technology. So please do contact us if you have a plan or some equipment you feel like you need that are assistive technology, and we can look at helping you to make a plan to obtain it. So thank you again, Mr. Tibbs. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Tracy.
Yeah, do you have some?
Danielle wants to know where you purchased the portable shovel.
I got that one off of Amazon.
Okay.
But you can buy them There you can buy them at any sporting goods store or Army surplus store. Harry's Army surplus store sells them. Where else can you get them from? I think Dunham's, REI, Dick's.
Okay.
A lot of there's a lot of sporting goods stores sell those type of things for you.
And then Dolores says, thank you. That was very informative. I had not thought about preparing for the pets.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, you definitely have to keep your pets in mind, because like I said, if they have to have water and food also.
I think the most brilliant thing that I had never thought of was copying your ID and some, maybe even like your debit card, those kinds of things, and keeping those in your kit along with your batteries and radio, because it could very well be you won't be able to get to those important papers or items, and you might need them to prove your identity to get replacements. So that was brilliant.
Oh, and one other thing, like I said, when you have flashlights, basically keep your batteries, put them in a plastic bag outside, because a lot of times the flashlights, the batteries leak and ruin the flashlight, and that way they'll stay fresher longer.
I think too, if you make a plan, it seemed like I was thinking about the times when we roll forward or fall back. I put new batteries in our fire,
Right.
our smoke detectors. It would be a good time to replace the batteries that you're talking about in your kit as well on that regular schedule, so that you're cycling those out and putting fresh ones in there. That's a great idea. Anything else?
Elliot wants to know if the PowerPoint will be shared. Mr. Tibbs, do you have a problem with us sharing the PowerPoint?
Oh no.
Okay, so Elliot, if you want to email me, I put my email address in the beginning. We'll get that PowerPoint to you. Any more questions? Okay, I don't think so.
Okay, well, thank you again, Mr. Tibbs. I so appreciate you sharing your knowledge. I have a list now of items that I need to accomplish to be able to feel like I'm prepared. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next, we'd like to invite you to our Assistive Technology Talk next month. We're going to do an introduction to my ABLE Disability Savings Program. Scott DeVerona, the division director for MyAble and Student Loan Repayment Division, is going to present information on the MyAble Disability Savings Program, including the history of the act, as well as information on how to open an account, tax implications, and information about qualified disability expenses. This will help us to do things like understand ABLE accounts, understand qualified disability expenses, explain how to enroll in the program. So I'm very much looking forward to and ask you to please join us on December 9th at 10 a.m. to learn about an important empowerment tool, MyAble Accounts. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
All right.